Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
Your character doesn't talk much, right, throughout the film, and that kind of, changes as we get to the end. So going forward, when or if there is a sequel, how do you think your character is going to evolve even further, and her relationship with Noah? How's that going to look?
I think it's going to be very interesting to see her dialogue with the rest of the humans from what she's experienced, and I have no idea how that's going to go down. I'm kind of scared for her, and I don't know how much she's going to, how much she's going to want to show of that. It could go so many different ways, but yeah, I think from here on out, she's definitely going to be in a constant conflict. It was almost more of a problem getting to see how similar her and Noah are, because now she's got that emotional attachment and relatability, whereas it would just be easier to just be able to just hate apes, but I don't think she does now, and she's like, damn.
Real quick last question. Witcher. Any teasers when season 4 might drop? When can fans see it?
Listen, maybe 2025, maybe, no. I don't know. That's me guessing. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because I actually don't know, but I hope so, because I want people to see it, because it's actually really cool. So please watch it. Please, okay? Because Liam's going to rock it, so...
Well, thank you.
Okay, so with this physical release coming out, there's going to be a version where it's not CGI. We're not going to see Proxima Caesar actually as himself. We're going to see...
You'll see the performances side by side.
Okay,
yeah.
So with the performance of just you in the mocap, is that a bit of a terrifying prospect for you?
No, it's a revelation. I'm so excited because the amazing people at Wētā truly took their gifts and talents and really honored the performances. So when I watch the movie, I see all my friends. I don't see I saw what they did, and it's always me. So it's amazing that people get to actually understand what this mysterious thing is that we do. It's kind of wild. I'm excited for people to see it.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks, bro.
Okay. I wanted to ask, with your character playing, a spiritual disciple of Caesar and his teachings, what were the religious inspirations that you took on to kind of shape how your character saw this?
I think he's a makeup of like a bit of a Buddhist. He's a bit like, I listen to a lot of Tibetan throat singing, and I just kind of found him to be like, sort of like a Hindu kind of like very spiritual, peaceful vibe, but like in the realm of the Buddha. You know what I mean? I think if I had to assign any religion at all, which because I don't think that I think he's more of an anthropologist than he is like a religious sort of thing. Like a person, like a very like balance in the universe, and curiosity about life.
Now, unrelated question for you. Seth MacFarlane shared recently that there will be more of the Orville.
When did he say that? You telling a fib?
I don't know. That's what I was told.
Who told you that?
My boss. But what discussions?
What did he say? You say he said that? That's awesome.
Well, what discussions have you had with him about a potential season 4 and like what the future of the show? And are you confident that it will continue at some point?
I would like it to. I think there's more story to be told. I think he had a great time making it, and like we've had conversations about like potential ideas of where it goes. Yeah. So, and that's all I know. Like he's a very busy fellow. Yeah. But I do think that it would be amazing if there was more, because there's more story to be told.
The water was bar none the big challenge on this movie. Both having to portray it and make sure that it tied into the level of reality of the live action that we're shooting,
right?
But then also how that water was going to affect the apes. The fact that we've now got to dunk them in the water, and that water has to sheet off of them believably, and ultimately, affect Raqqa in the way that it does.
Right. What was the impact, or I guess kind of what was the challenge of that final chase scene where it is, speaking of the water, you're going through that building, that bunker, you're trying to maneuver through. What were the challenges of that? Because you have CGI apes, CGI water, CGI, I imagine, surroundings.
Yeah, it's the art directing a simulation is the big thing. There is having to sort of tell a story through a bunch of disparate shots, but make sure that it felt like the continuity of the water was consistent as it was flowing through. And because we had our camera so low to the water line, over and under, needing to make sure that, you know, the slightest change to a simulation would suddenly swamp the camera. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, cool. How much of the editing process didn't involve special effects?
None.
None.
Actually, there were 1 or 2 scenes with some actors that had no apes in it. And those were very refreshing to cut because the mental capacity you have to cut the ape footage it can be very exhausting. So at the end of the day, you actually felt like, oh my God, I just worked out all day long, but just mentally, right? You know, so very little, but just a couple scenes.
Yeah. So with the upcoming physical release, there's going to be a segment or a special feature where the apes aren't there, right? It's the mocap
top
actors.
and bottom, So we're doing a stacked version, final feature up top, and then basically it's my timeline underneath. And Wes and I, we talked about it so many times because we know that there's a palette for it out there, but we've heard people talk about it, but never really seen it visually like that. But it's an amazing way to watch exactly the process of editorial to final product, and what we have to visualize, and then what becomes reality, visually, which is amazing. But it also does show you how rough it is that we have to deal with, and we have to kind of like go along with it. And then when the magic trick happens where they become apes, and you see it for the first time, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to actually rethink this a little bit because it's amazing. So,
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it.
Appreciate it.